Hey everybody, welcome to the YouTube Lead Gen Show hosted by Christina Smallhorn and myself, Malcolm Lawson. Christina and I have each generated millions of views on YouTube, tens of thousands of subscribers, and earned hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions from leads we generated off of our real estate YouTube channel. And on this show, we mastermind about using YouTube for lead generation in our real estate business. Christina, how you doing today?
Good. I'm looking for us on our YouTube mastermind page, or real estate YouTube mastermind page, and I cannot find the live.
You may have to just refresh it. Give it a moment.
Okay.
Got a little lag there. Yeah, Christina's gonna get us all set up. Get the yeah, I guess you got to share it out to the different groups and get us out there. So today, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be talking a little bit, but then we're gonna be really doing some live channel evaluations. We posted in our group a while ago of who wants a free channel evaluations for the YouTube channel, and we got a lot of people asking for that. We must have. Let me share my screen. We must have 20 or 30 people. 33 people asking for live channel evaluations. So we're going to go through and start knocking out a few of these today. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of talk about YouTube and do some general masterminding.
Mm-hmm. I didn't write a message, so I got to write a message. Sorry.
You got to write a message. All right. Well, I'll get started on some of these channel evaluations. So let's see. I think we're right here.
Who are we looking at? Did you freeze? I think you froze.
Clear image of your face and the real. So this one, for example, I can read special offer. I can't read what's above that. This one here, you can make that text so much bigger. You know, it doesn't have to be small like that. And you have to keep in mind that your majority of your views are going to come from mobile devices, and a big number of your traffic is going to come from suggested videos on mobile device. And so you want to design your thumbnails to work at that small of size as a suggested video on a mobile device. So let me just kind of pull up. So you have to design them to work that small. That small, you have to be able to read the text. And I mean, a lot of your thumbnails, I can't read all the text even on a desktop, but if it's that small on a mobile device, there'd be no way I could read that. So I would just go in there and just try to make this text a little bit larger. Like this one, for example, just make that bigger.
Make your face bigger too. So
yeah.
Like Jeremy Vest always says, you want to see the whites of your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, he's just looked like this little person in this big thumbnail. So make your face, you know, like you can even have it where your hands are cut off, or even like down like this, like closer to your face. So that way, you know, you can have it over to the right-hand side, and then you can put life and then lessons, you know, so that way it really pops off the screen. And then you can see that you're like smiling and happy, and people want to know what your life lessons are, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, you just got to design it for those mobile devices. And on a mobile device, it's going to be very hard to see that face and really connect with you. This one is good.
Yeah, but let's talk about his titles real quick.
Yeah, I noticed that too. What do you think of the titles?
They're not engaging.
Yep.
It would be like life lessons I wish I knew when I was 20, you know? So that would be like a more engaging title. Life lessons that I wish people would have told me when I was 20, or something that would make people go, well, what was those things? What were those life lessons?
Yeah.
Or life lessons I'll take with me to my grave, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The first challenge in YouTube is just getting people to click on your videos. And you do that in two ways. One, from having a great thumbnail, and two, from having a great title. And yeah, I agree with you. You know, life lessons, that doesn't really make me want to click on that. Like she said, yeah, if 5 things I wish I knew when I was 20, you know, or most challenging life lesson I ever learned, that would make me want to click. That's a really clickable title. But just life lessons, these look more like you're labeling your videos, and you really want to look at it as a headline. If you got to create a headline to describe your video, what kind of headline would you create? And then, you know, try to keep it under 55 characters as well for your title.
Or like life lessons that lost me $1 million.
Right. I would click on that.
That people would click on that.
Yeah. And this one here, again, it's just like a label. You get your address, promo 2. And that's not an enticing title that makes me want to click on the
And the
thumbnail.
thumbnail is the same as the one next to it. It's
Right.
exactly like just a few words have changed. You can't do that. People are gonna think if they saw the coming soon, why would they watch the other one?
So your banner, I actually kind of like your banner. Subscribe to learn about living in Nampa, Idaho. I think that's perfect. That's
Nothing wrong
describing.
with
Yeah, it's describing your value proposition of what they can expect out of your channel, which is perfect.
that. I feel like I have no room to talk about anybody's banner because mine is
I
I've
gotta,
never liked my banner. It's not that it's bad, I just don't like it, I'm never happy with it. I've never like, ever after I get done, I think I like it for about a day, and then I'm like, "Ugh," you know?
yeah, Christina,
It's good enough.
can I make you a new banner?
Please.
Okay, challenge
Please.
accepted. I want to make you a
Yeah.
new banner.
Please.
'Cause I mean, yeah, banners help convert viewers into subscribers, in my
Yes.
opinion. Now most of your subscribers are going to come from the actual channel page of them watching one of your videos, but and you can actually see that in your analytics, how many subscribe on your video versus how many subscribe on your channel.
Mhm.
But having that banner really describing your value of your channel, I think is pretty important. I'll say, I think your title of your channel is a little long. I would actually just take this Stan and Allison out and just do living in Nampa, Idaho. If you wanted to, you could add labels right here, Stan and Allison, something like that. But in my opinion, the shorter the title, the better. It's just a little bit easier for people to remember. So what do you think about the title?
Uh,
Are
I
you
just
not
think
not as picky as I am?
I'm not as picky as you are. I'm really not. But, I mean, I see what you're saying. To me, if they just put their names and then put realtors, you know,
Yeah,
or
that could
that
work too.
that would be fine. I just think it's something that should follow your brand everywhere you go. So if you have that name on your Facebook business page, make sure it's on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn. I mean, you want your name to follow you everywhere because your name is your brand.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. For my channel, at first I was going to call it YouTube Lead Gen for Real Estate Agent, and then I was like, God, that's such a mouthful, and I just
That's what
shortened
I
it just YouTube Lead Gen. And then to show that it's a for real estate agents, I just have my icon as a house. Like, you can obviously make that connection. So let's watch the first 30 seconds here of one of Stan's videos and say, I think I've seen his videos before. He's pretty good at just like telling stories.
And yesterday, I was getting ready to host an open house when word came that Governor Little had signed a 21-day shelter in place. Now, what does this mean? Well, flip. So the first question is, what does Governor Little's shelter in place or stay-at-home order mean?
Yeah, that's great. You're getting right into the content.
That's what I was
You're
going to say. Thank you for not throwing in a bunch of like, please subscribe because I post a new video every single week about the Idaho area, blah, 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 blah. You go on and on forever. It's like,
yeah,
you just jumped right into it. To me, this is golden. That's good.
That's exactly what you want. And now, if you only had a better title, if you had, what does Governor Hogan's stay-at-home order
Shelter
in place mean for Ohio residents?
Mhm.
That would be something that other people in the area would click on.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, just that, I wasn't actually expecting you to break down what the stay-at-home or shelter-in-place order meant, because that's not really what I got out of that title.
Right.
But yeah, good for you for not doing 5 call to actions and having a fancy video intro before you got right into the content.
Look, is that toilet paper in his background?
I wonder if he's doing a giveaway.
Yeah, right.
That'd get people to watch. All right, and let's see how you end your videos as well. That's just as important.
Stay safe, take care, and know that Allison and I look forward to helping you any way that we can.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. This seems like it's more of the kind of video that he may send to his
Clients.
database. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for something like this, it may not necessarily be appropriate for him to point and try to get him to another video. So I can understand why he didn't want to go that route with that.
Well, if that's the case, then make those videos unlisted. You can still send them to your database that way, unlisted, but it's not like visual on the channel.
And I will say that just having your contact information at the end of the video, I think is actually one of the best ways to get people to call you and actually get leads from YouTube. I know a lot of people will try doing these, hey, get your free seller's guide, get your free
I've done it.
whatever home valuation, and none of that stuff really works very well. Just giving
It
them
did a
the
while ago.
information.
It did for a while.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
I did. Well, I mean, when I started this, I did that kind of thing, and it did work for a while. But
Yeah.
doesn't work anymore. It was a thing, but it's not really a thing anymore.
And I'll say one little trick that you can do to kind of fill up your channel a little bit is, well, I like to create playlists. Create playlists of just stuff around your area. Like, playlists don't have to be just your videos. So you could have a playlist of just videos of local attractions in your area from your state board of tourism and your national parks and recreation office, and just have some other content that people in Nampa, Idaho would find valuable. And you can put those playlists right here on your channel as well. But yeah, overall, I think he's doing a lot of things right. If he keeps up with this, and I mean, if your goal is lead generation, it's going to be a different type of videos than what you're putting up. Looks like a lot of these are really videos to your database, to your clients already. If your goal is lead generation, yeah, and I mean, even say in your banner here that your channel is supposed to be about living in Nampa, Idaho. I haven't really seen any of that type of content yet about living in Nampa, Idaho, but that's the kind of stuff that you would want to focus on if you want to generate leads out of this channel. So yeah, overall, I'd say that's a pretty decent channel. So let's take a look here, and who else have we got? Here's my channel, just getting started. All right, I'm gonna rip Ken's channel to pieces here.
Oh yeah,
Ken Pozak. No, man. No. What are you doing here?
Nice try.
You don't have any text in your thumbnails at all, man. Come on, this is full of text. I'm not gonna click on any of these.
At least 5 words or more. 10. And if you repeat the title in the thumbnail, that's amazing.
That's what you want to do. Yeah, you want your
Joking.
title to be in your thumbnail. Yeah.
Joking.
All right, let's get out of Peter McKinnon here. Here we go. Let's take a look at Ryan. Okay. Shields Group, Royal LePage Martin Liberty Realty, making buying and selling your home a Brandon MB easier. Wow, that's really hard to read, all that text. Yeah, you got a lot going on in that banner, and that text is really hard to read, and you have a lot of text in there. I would definitely recommend simplifying that much more, and I like putting the value proposition of your channel kind of dead center. So that's the first thing that they read. And that's actually what they did fantastically. Something like that. Theirs is really easy to read, and you know instantly what that channel is going to be about. This one is really hard to read, and I'm not even sure. So I guess making, buying, and selling your home in Brandon MB easier. What's MB? What state is that? Is that a typo? Maybe that's supposed to be MI or something? MN? No. I think they got a typo, and they're and there's a capital M, lowercase b. Anyway. Yeah, I would update this. What do you think about their thumbnails?
They're all the same. Why would anybody click on, if they saw local source of sports in Brandon, if the next one came up in their newsfeed, they'd say, oh, I've already seen that video, and I've already seen that video, and maybe that's another video. It just seems like they keep releasing the same video. Nobody was going to come back and watch a video that they think they've already seen.
Yeah. So it looks like they're keeping the same thumbnail, and then they're putting these little logos, I guess, for different companies in their thumbnails. But I mean, I can't read those logos unless I zoom in on my computer. On a cell phone, there'd be no way. And honestly, I didn't even really notice that those logos were different.
I didn't either until you just said that there were logos in there. Couldn't even tell, because all I can see is Love Local and the gray at the bottom and the gray at the top.
Yeah, I'm not wild about those thumbnails at all. And I'm guessing Love Local must be the name of your series where you're interviewing local businesses.
Right. And then the titles say Love Local. Like, that's not why would anybody watch that? That's not an engaging title. It'd be like, best local supermarket, or best local supplement in King Brandon. That's a more engaging title. Then I understand it's your series, and you could write that in your description. Like in the next Love Local series, we're talking about the best supplement place in King Brandon or whatever. Like you can describe all those things in your description, but don't make that in your title, because nobody's, first of all, searching for it, and secondly of all, it's not really a catchy title enough for somebody to want to click on it. Like Malcolm always says, look at newspapers, look at, even like those rag magazines as you're walking through the grocery store, their titles are extremely catchy. Some people call them clickbait, and it's not clickbait if you're delivering on the promise of what the title is. So if you can make it in a super engaging clickbait type title and thumbnail, you're going to have much more success with people wanting to watch your videos.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's kind of a common mistake that a lot of people make, that they put something like episode 1 or season 1, episode 3, and then the name of the show like in their titles, and you're just doing the name of your series, Love Local with. I would take that out. That Love Local with, it's kind of confusing, and it's taken up very valuable space. You only have 55 characters. You want to keep your titles below 55 characters, and you want every one of those characters to count, because people are deciding to click on your video in the first place largely on the title. And yeah, I mean, I would have done, #1 supplement store in Brandon, and best sports fields in Brandon. And
well, she said supplement king. So if it was me, if I was thinking of a thumbnail, it just popped in my head, I would have like a vitamin with a crown over to the side, and then have an image in the background of whatever Brandon's little county looks like. There's like a blurred vision in the background. That would be much more engaging, and people go, why does that vitamin have a king, like a crown on its head? So that would complement the title more and much more engaging.
You have a lot of potential to get really creative with these thumbnails, and I'm just not really seeing it. I mean, you just have a template, you're throwing on the logo onto these different ones. Yeah, man, if you went back and updated your thumbnails and your titles for all of these, you would see a huge difference. You'd really they would perform so much better on YouTube, and they'd actually rank for stuff as well. A lot of people will tell you all you need to do is just optimize it for search terms like restaurants in Brandon, but that's only part of it. That's the kind of the first step, but you have to have that high click-through rate when YouTube does present your videos, and you have to have keep people watching, have a high audience retention in order to get your videos to rank. And so having a good thumbnail and a good title is part of that whole creative process for your videos.
I like making the thumbnails. Sometimes I get frustrated by them, but I mean, I'm in several groups that you can take a little bit of ideas from other people. And if you are interested in making more detailed thumbnails, Malcolm and I have 2 groups, and one of them is this group, of course. And then you have that master thumbnails. And, we'll just put them in there, and we can give us some advice and everything. I think the more opinions you get, you don't have to take them all, of course not, but you can get some good ideas. You can take a little piece of that opinion and put it in your thumbnail. And sometimes, just sometimes, I've had this happen to me. I worked on like 3 different thumbnails, and then I took some generic stock photo image, and it worked so much better.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I was so mad that the stock image worked.
And I mean, I think that you're getting creative and with some of these thumbnails, which is good. And some of these, are not bad. I'd say all of them, though, it's very hard to read the text. I mean, I can't really read with this. I mean, that's a white text on kind of a white background. I can't read this red one here. I can't read this one. And if people can't read it, they're not going to click on it.
Either drop shadow or outline. That will help. Yeah.
Or having a blue background like that, but now you have the text too small on these ones. If you're going to put text in your thumbnails, you want to keep it below 5 words, and try to make the text as large as you possibly can. Yeah, I mean, I would say your thumbnails is kind of your biggest weakness. If you went back and just updated
titles.
and your titles. If you went back and updated all your thumbnails or all your videos, I think you see a really big difference on how well they perform. And let me just show you a couple of the thumbnails that I used to do, because I mean, I understand that it takes time. But like a lot of these, I used to just have a template that I would use. They're all pretty similar, but they're all different enough. And you can notice that all the text is pretty easy to read. My face is pretty large in all of them. What I would do is you could do something like this one here. Have your image, have the name of the company, and then have the picture of the company in the background and have it blurred out. And I like blurring my background so that the foreground pops out more on it. And that could be a easy, quick little thumbnail template that you can make for all of your living local businesses. Just have them in the background blurred out, and then have nice, easy to read text in the foreground. So let's go back here. So let's actually watch one of his videos and see what else we can get.
And hers.
And hers, sorry, yeah. Shield
Two.
Ryan and Jen Shields. Okay, let's take a look here.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Love Local Businesses. And today I'm featuring Supplement King, and I'm joined today by Jordana Platt. So thanks for taking a couple minutes out of your day, Jordana.
Thanks, Ryan.
Absolutely. So do you want to just start off and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Supplement King?
Yeah, I think that's fine. You're getting right into the content, which is good. And it looks like you're interviewing.
Who's he talking to?
I think she is just about to pop up.
Okay.
So it looks like he's doing Zoom calls.
Okay. So I have a suggestion when it comes to these, because I've done Zoom calls where I've turned them into a video. So what I do is I will take when they're talking, I usually take some B-roll footage of whatever it is they're talking about. And then when it's a side by side like this, I will separate the images, put those off to the left-hand side and put the B-roll on the right-hand side, just to add as much interest as possible.
Mhm.
That's what I want to make that, because you just watching two people talk back and forth, it can get pretty boring. But like that Insta House, that one right there, that was a Zoom call. And of course there are some images that you would see just like a Zoom call, but I broke it up a lot. See, like you can see it right there. Like I broke those images up as much as possible so it wouldn't be just a stale, boring video interview.
Yeah,
I mean, most of us aren't Joe Rogan. We're not that interesting that people are going to just sit there and watch us talk to one another.
Yeah, I agree. Like if you really want these videos to perform well, you could do a custom intro for each of them. Like, you don't have to just upload your Zoom call. Do a custom intro for each of them, and then go back and edit that video, add some B-roll, add some supplemental things. Let me just play the first 30 seconds of Christina's video and just try to compare this to your Zoom call and which one really hooks the audience better.
So you're going to get a house here in this spot in front of a factory in less than 24 hours. Say what? Basically, you can have a house like delivered to you in no time flat. By the time it gets there, you could go out to lunch and have your house built for you. You're going to be learning more about Boxable and how they are able to do this and how incredibly cost effective it is. So what kind of homes are these? I mean, we know of the traditional stick-built homes, and we know about manufactured homes, and we know about modular homes. But what the heck do these fall under? Because they travel on the road, and I don't know. I'll have them explain it to you. These things read like stereo instructions.
The way we look at stick building is kind of like a pre-industrial.
Right? Yeah, that is a fantastic example of how you should start any video. A lot of shots, a lot of high energy, and really trying to hook the audience. And then the rest of it is literally, just this Zoom call with this guy talking about these modular homes. But throughout the entire thing, she edited it to show, just to keep the viewers interested.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's so much. And what are we up to now? 300,000 views, and
Mm-hmm.
you're only about a month old.
Yeah, it was doing really, really, really well. And you can see exactly when everything hit the fan with the COVID-19, because literally the views were like this and then they went like this.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that was on its way to doing much better than any other video I'd ever done. And then this stuff happened, but whatever, Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great example, you know. Like you could, if he really wanted to, he could go out to the front of each of those businesses and just with his cell phone, hey everybody, today we're interviewing the owner of blah 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 blah, and just get some quick B-roll shots and then edit that into his video interview with the person. Because I have seen other agents doing this kind of stuff as well, where they're doing the Zoom calls. And
Last week we kind of did one where the guy would, well, he actually went inside, but he did like outside the
oh right, yeah,
place, and then he went back in, and
yeah. I mean, if you put in some extra effort into those, added some B-roll, worked on your titles, worked on your thumbnails, I could see a lot of these, you know, actually ranking in search when somebody types in something like shopping in Brandon, you know. But as it is right now, you're gonna have a hard time keeping somebody's attention for 14 minutes. You know, I mean, that's just the truth on any Zoom call, even the really good ones. Even this, something like this live stream that we're doing, probably have a hard time keeping people's attention for 14 minutes.
yeah, but the Nimmons, man, they can do it for 4 hours, and I mean, they've got
Right.
hundreds of people watching.
We'll get there. They've got 500,000 subscribers. That's
Yeah.
a lot. And then I'd also say for your icon, it's a little.
I didn't
hard
even
to realize.
realize that they were in there, and they're like faded out. Did you realize?
Yeah.
Now I see that. I think their
So-
faces would work better than just that
Yeah.
logo, in my opinion.
So most of the time when people see your icon is going to be this small. I can't make out what that is at this size. And when it's on a mobile device, it's going to be a quarter of that size. It's going to be impossible for anybody to make it out. So you want to have your icon to be something very simple. And a lot of people just use their face. That's what I use on my icon up here. It's just my face. All of my channels have very.
Oh, I thought you used your
simple-
face because you really liked yourself.
No, that's not it. All of my channels have very simple icons that it's easy to see at a small size.
Oh, I think I'm so funny.
Yeah. So I think we got some comments. Let's see what kind of comments we got here. We got Jeremy Blanton in the house. He's always in the
Hey,
house.
Jeremy. I like Jeremy.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, buddy. Love local what? Yeah, he was just agreeing with us.
I'd love you to review my channel. Yeah, great, man. Go into the Real Estate YouTube Mastermind Facebook group, and I have a pinned comment up top here. And I got probably about 15 people of you. Just put a link down at the bottom, and we'll try to get to you. And well, I'll tell you what. If how can we get it right now? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Did he leave a? Hold on. How can I? All right. This is his channel.
Okay.
See this program's a little weird. I can't get clickable links. I have to type everything else. So let me see. Santa sells houses real estate
team. That's a long name.
Let's see if I can find this one.
I would just put Santa sells houses. That's a neat name. I want to see Santa sell a house. I like Santa.
Is that what it is? Is it Santa? Santa sells houses. All right. Santa sells houses real estate team. All right, I'm just doing a quick search on Google. Let's see if I can, or YouTube. Santa sells houses team. You think this is it? No, it must be. It can't be too many other people with Santa sells houses.
Mm-mm.
All right, so let's take a look at what Santa has to say. So I like that you have a channel trailer. What is Torian and what are the fees? So one thing with the channel trailer is, so this is probably just a good video that you have that you probably put. It's probably not a dedicated channel trailer, if I had to guess.
Questions.
How many minutes is it?
I guessed a lot.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You know, I have a channel trailer, but you don't necessarily need one. Not everybody wants to have a channel trailer. Sometimes a lot of big creators, they just put their top performing video as their channel trailer, or whichever video converts viewers into subscribers best. They put that as their channel trailer.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. All right, I'll let you rip in this one.
The thumbnails. It's the thumbnails. The thumbnails. First of all, you have a ton of words going on there. You cut this off with some black bar at the top. And it's the same thumbnail all the way across. If it isn't, I mean, That's the same thumbnail. It's the same thumbnail. And
So-
the word is so small. There's like no one could read that. A termite, maybe. That is so incredibly hard to read.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So it looks like he probably did a Skype or Zoom call with somebody and then chopped it up into different clips and then uploaded those different clips.
Which is totally fine. I actually recommend that often because Zoom calls can go on for an hour and nobody has patience to watch a 1 hour Zoom call. So it's great to break those up into different little segments. I recommend that, but don't use the same thumbnail.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something that I was doing for a while as well. I would cut up our live streams and upload them to YouTube, but I at least made separate thumbnails for all of them. They all have a very similar style so that you know that they're in the same like series, same type of videos, but they're all, you know, have their own separate thumbnails that are very easy to read and very clickable. Yeah, and that's what you need to do for this. You need to create, it can all be very similar, but just some unique thumbnail for all of these. None of these thumbnails make me want to click on the video at all. None of them would get me, if I'm scrolling through my feed, I wouldn't stop and look at these. Wouldn't get my attention.
Well, the black bar alone, I'm like, what? Why? Like, why is there a black bar on every single?
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing what's the text? Let's click on one of these.
I don't know. It's
in terms of. Okay, so you did a little bit of editing. You added in some text there and your logo down here. Okay, and so it's kind of the same thing. You're doing one of these Zoom calls, probably with a mortgage lender or a local business.
And these are boring. Like I do them too. They're boring. So you have to figure out a way how to make them less boring, because really, honestly, as much as we think it's really interesting and people need to know this information, if they're not entertained watching it, they're going to turn it off and they don't care. I mean, I had to describe, which was one of the most boring topics, but it sounds funny, is naked ownership here in Louisiana. So I took that funny name of that and turned it into something funny. And it was just the most boring interview ever, but you got to figure out a way to make it exciting. So I did, like,
yeah, that's a eye-catching thumbnail right there.
Right. Did it get me a ton of views? No, but 4,100 ain't bad,
Wait, was this? Oh yeah, this was an interview with somebody, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an interview, and then I tried to make it interesting. I mean, and like it's kind of like you see me in the bathtub, you see me,
Right.
I was like even brushing my teeth, anything,
Right.
and he plugs his book, anything to make that very boring topic of naked ownership into something exciting, and fun to watch.
Absolutely. That is the proper way to do a Zoom call to YouTube. When you're when you're doing your just something like this, like it's really hard to keep people's attention. I don't really, other than Joe Rogan, I don't see many people do clip shows that really work that well. I mean, except for Christina, and that's what you need to do if you actually want these to perform well. You have to put in effort into them. You have to make that thumbnail and try to add in some editing, maybe even add in some music in the background to these, add some B-roll, add some images, just something to help keep people's attention during these.
I have a thing about music, and you've had the same thing.
I
screw it up too. I'm not gonna lie. Some people like the music, and then I like my last video, I wasn't gonna put music in, and my kids are like, it's missing something. I'm like, well, what about music? So I threw some music in there, and they liked it better. And the first comment, they were like, I found the music distracting. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. I don't know about music. It depends.
You can't win sometimes.
I know. You can't make them all happy.
So I've been putting music in, but I turn it way down so you can barely hear it, but you really just kind of hear that beat, and you kind of start bobbing your head while you're watching my videos because you can just hear that beat. And I think if you ever have any B-roll shots where you're not speaking and it's just like some B-roll, just having that music in the background really helps as well.
And make sure you ask somebody if the music is appropriate for the video, because sometimes you're like, but I let it to be cheerier, but you're talking about death. Oh yeah, I guess that wasn't the right music. We all get it.
It's hard to get it to be appropriate for the find that right music.
Right.
But I think having some kind of music, just some kind of beat, I think it does help people's attention. Yeah, it may also be relevant to the topic.
Mhm.
So another thing with your titles, you can see that they're all getting truncated. They're getting cut off because the titles are too long. As a rule of thumb, a lot of big YouTubers try to keep their titles below 55 characters. And 55 characters is the longest that a title can be on YouTube suggested before it gets truncated like that. So just try to keep, I'm trying to show you YouTube. Just try to keep your titles short and punchy if you can.
Yeah.
So
Eye-catching. Clickable.
If you scroll down, I mean, a few of these are not bad. I like that you just have some stock footage as your thumbnails. You know, that's not terrible having that, and
It
that'll work.
works. It does work. I hate them. I mean, like I spent a lot of time with my thumbnails, and I just recently did a stock footage one, and it worked better than my one I spent hours on. So
Yeah, absolutely. There's videos that's all they do is just have a great image like this, and it'll get people to click. You know what the purpose of a thumbnail is? They say that it's sort of like a stop sign. Somebody's scrolling through YouTube, they see that thumbnail, and it just stops them in their tracks. It's a scroll stopper, and then the next step is that they read the title. So having a good thumbnail like this could stop somebody, and then they're going to read the title. So you have to have a good title, though. First time home buyer incentive ... Yeah, that title doesn't necessarily hook me. Torian warranty, don't have buyer's remorse. Like, I don't really know what that's about. That doesn't really hook me as well. You know, if it's about a home warranty, then, you know, this how to save $50,000 on home repairs.
well, I would say that first time home buyers get free money.
Yeah, free
That
money
would-
for first time home buyers. That would
Yeah.
stop me.
Yeah.
I would click on that. How does an agent decide what my home is worth? That's not bad.
Uh-huh.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So let's see why this one. So it's a very short video. Typically, longer videos do better on YouTube. Not always, but typically. So let's take a look at this video and see what's going on here. So if you're, I think there's a decent title and a good thumbnail. So your click-through rate is high. So the next thing YouTube's going to look at is your audience retention, how long people are watching your video for.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look how you start this.
Matt Santigappa, Santa Sells Houses team, and in today's real estate question, we're going to answer, how does an agent decide what your home is worth? Well, here it is. The agent doesn't decide what your home is worth. The market decides what your home
Thank you for getting right into the meat of the problem there. You know, like, yeah, that was good. I mean, was it super hooky? No, but at least he didn't keep people hanging for 10 minutes on what the answer to the question was, you know?
Yeah, you got right into it.
Yep.
Within like 10, 15 seconds, you're right
Correct.
into the content of the video. None of this like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook.
Yeah, I
blah,
post
blah,
once a
blah,
week and I
blah,
make
blah.
the best bit of information, and you know, like, oh, not some ridiculous, you know, 10
And
second, 15-second logo
Yeah.
crap garbage, whatever. I don't know. That's just me. I don't
Yeah.
like, I don't.
No, I'm with you on that. And I also really like your studio as well. Like it's very authentic. You know, it's a kind of an interesting backdrop there. I love that desk. I wouldn't mind having that desk.
Maybe a little bit more light, like light
Yeah.
on him.
You can tell that the light is coming from above because he's got
Right.
these raccoon eyes where he has shadows around his eyes.
Mhm.
And it's because he's got fluorescent lights above him shining down.
Fluorescent
Um,
evil. Fluorescent
yeah.
lighting can be really evil.
Surprisingly, his white balance is good though. It's a lot of times fluorescent lights make you look very orangey. But yeah, I think the image itself looks good.
Mhm.
But your audio was pretty bad. Did you notice that? The
I guess I
audio,
didn't hear.
there's some kind of background noise going on, and even listening to him speak. Let's play it again. The audio is not very good. Listen.
worth. The function of a real estate agent is to price your home accordingly based off of historical comparable.
It's the mic.
It's
He
the
just
mic.
yeah, it's the mic. He just needs a better mic.
It's the audio levels are peaking, which is
Yeah.
they're just too high, and it's just recording noise. And you know, on YouTube, people will accept poor lighting and poor framing and poor video quality, but they will not accept poor audio ever. That's always the exception. You have to have decent audio.
Yeah, because think about this. Have you ever watched a television show and they'll show a video and it's super grainy, but they end up putting the captions of what people are saying on like a 911 call or whatever.
Mhm.
That makes it more engaging, and they're forgiving because of the fact that you can know what they're exactly saying because they put the captions up. You know,
Yeah.
people are interested once they know exactly what you're saying. If it's hard for people to understand and hear, then they won't do it. They'll
And
click off.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, overall, this is not a bad video. You know, you can try editing some B-roll in there, some images, some graphics, something like that. See if that helps keep people's attention. You don't need to. I mean, I have videos that I've been experimenting a lot more without doing all that fancy stuff, and some of my videos are still doing all right. But you know, in my experience, when you're talking about something as boring as real estate and involves a lot of numbers, having some graphics and to keep people's attention does help, especially when you're talking about numbers. I like putting numbers up on my videos just to help people really process that mentally.
Oh, I wanted to let you know that Carlin Farina said we had 170 people on that live stream at one time. We broke it up with SEO, and thumbnails are the next step. Okay, so I'm going to give you a suggestion the next time you do something like that, do not put those videos out until your thumbnails and titles are ready. Like, you put it out there before it was ready, and so no one's going to watch it. So you've already put it in the ecosystem, and the YouTube algorithm. I like, you kind of like, you put the cart before the horse. You know, you need to do that backwards. You need to, before you even put those as published, you should have had that ready ahead of time. You don't look at your thumbnails and your titles as an afterthought. That should be your first thought before you ever push publish to a video.
So he's saying this was a live stream, and then he
cut it up.
He downloaded it and then cut it up, and then tried to quickly throw it up there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, thumbnails are really important. It's a lot of the big creators, they have an idea for a video. They first create the thumbnail and the title for the video and craft that, put a lot of energy into it. And if it works, if they think that's a good video and title and people click on it, then they create the content for that thumbnail and title.
That's what I do.
That's what I did in my last video. I mean, I made the thumbnail a couple of days before I even filmed the video, just to make sure that it was like a cool concept and I think people would click on it.
And it's good to bounce it off people too. Don't be afraid to throw your thumbnails into the group and have people look at them. You know, which one is more eye-catching?
Mm-hmm.
And ask people that are not real estate agents, because those are the people you want to click on them in the first place. Real estate agents don't care what your 5 tips of buying a house are or whatever else, but other people that are going to buy a house will be interested. So ask those people, ask clients of yours, ask people in your sphere of influence, which thumbnail, which image do you like better?
Yeah, I mean, they're that important. Yeah, you could have a fantastic video that you professionally shot and paid $1,000 for a videographer, but if you don't have a good thumbnail and title, it'll never get viewed. So let's take a look at this one. This one's,
I was going to say, this looks really nice.
Yeah, you got
going on the hair. This looks good.
You got a cool little backdrop. You got a shallow depth of field. I saw you had some graphics in there. Let's take a look at this one.
Hey guys, it's Dale here from the Santa Sells Houses team.
Better audio.
We're starting a new series today called Google London.
There's still a hiss. There's like a hum in the audio. Like they had to crank the audio levels up really high.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can hear that.
Are 63,000 Google searches per second, which works out to about 5.6.
Good. I like the graphics.
He was from Canada.
So we want to drill down, get a little localized here within our London community, and just see what it is that Londoners are thinking or asking about our own area. So we're going to go through some today. Today will be a bit of a...
Yeah, man, I like the multiple angles. Yeah. I like that you're talking to them about what's going to get. You got some graphics on here. Yeah, this is much better.
I dig it.
And, you know, yeah, I mean, the video
title.
Yeah, the video itself is really good, and I feel like this type of video, they could perform really well in like rank in Google search and rank on the first page of Google. But that title is not very clickable.
What's the thumbnail on that one look like?
It looks like a screen capture. This one and this one.
Ugh.
That's it, man. That's what's holding you back on this video. If you had a fantastic title, a fantastic thumbnail, just a good thumbnail, and then just a good title, you know, if it was, I think the video is about moving to London, I think. So if it's something just pros and cons of moving to London. That's a good enough title to get people
Drop
to click on it.
episode 1 and 2. Drop that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have that on there. But everything else about it is like wicked cool.
Yeah, the video itself is
It's
really good.
It's very good.
I mean, Google London transportation. I don't really know what that video is about.
I think what happens is that we're drilled this SEO stuff, you know? So we think that, you know, if we have this SEO like filled title, you know, like with the magical keywords from heaven that, you know, all these surf traffic is going to come to it because it has Google in it or something. That's just not how it works. It's not how any of this works, is how they say. But I know that a lot of people will tell you that, you know, like if you use these products, that you'll find the most searched keywords that once you put them in a title, they're going to give you lots of views and subscribers.
Mhm.
And that's like, you really have to think of the person clicking on it and not trying to find the magic keywords that are going to get you the most views. It doesn't, people are what clicks on it. And Daryl Eves always says, build titles for people, not robots, you know?
Yeah. So it's a performance-based algorithm. People
Right.
have to click on it and they have to watch your video in order for your video to do well.
Mhm.
That's the most important thing. Let me one final note on his video. I mean, I like the shallow depth of field. I can tell that again. It looks like you have fluorescent lights just above you because you have these raccoon eyes again, and you have these shadows. I can just tell the light source is directly above you. And what you really want
realize
to,
that's a totally different person, right?
yeah, okay, well, above your,
I just wanted to
Why?
know. I'm like, you're saying above you. I'm like, wait, that's a
Okay.
totally different person. I just want you to know that.
all right, above this gentleman here.
Okay.
But ideally, yeah, you can see these shadows under his eyes and everything. Ideally,
Yeah.
you want the light. You want a softbox that's directing light directly at your face. That's what I have here, and it gives you a much more flattering look. It doesn't give you these crazy raccoon eyes and all this other.
Ring light might work. Ring light would work good.
A ring light will work as well. Yeah, you set those right in front of you. The problem with those is they give you this like circular catch light in your eye. And you can see the reflection of the ring light. I always thought that looked kind of weird.
It does.
Yeah. But yeah, a ring light will work as well.
If you want one solution, and you can put your camera right in between the ring light. So, I mean, it's just grab and go.
Yeah. All right. We got a lot of comments here. Let's take a look at a few of these real quick. Ian, great point. Many people miss the importance of thumbnails.
Mm-hmm. They
Yep.
sure do. I'm guilty of it. You know, I didn't know. I thought I was doing good. It's always a
Now you
learning
know.
experience.
Jeremy, yay for Papyrus font. Okay. I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, that was one of the fonts they did.
Yeah. Paul, I love this group so much. I invited Paul, thank you so much. You are a rock star.
Beast.
Thank you. Let's see. I had posted a link to my channel a couple of weeks back. My channel name may have been Homes by Stan. Where can I find out? Strand. Yeah. So we're kind of slowly making our way down that list. I try to tag people. If I'll go back and try to tag people in the post. So let me see. Homes by Strand. Let's take a look at Homes by Strand.
Let's just do it.
Why not?
Let's do it.
We're here now. Let's see if I can find it. Homes by Strand. You think that's him?
Let's try the channel. Like try channel name.
Oh, right. Yeah. Filter. Channel. Living in Northwestern Washington.
Can't find it.
The Strand. All right. Let's go back to the group here and I will take a look and let's see if we can find anything that says Strand. Sherry, free guy, real estate things. Oh, let me go way back. Let's see up here. Jeremy Knight, Mark Stanko, Homes by Strand. Yeah, I think we actually did. Oh, yeah, we actually did cover you. It was a week or two ago. Yeah, we'll do another one. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, we did hers.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and tag you in that one. Yeah, I think you're doing a lot of things right.
I make your image bigger. Your images are really small. Too many words in your thumbnails.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd say this thumbnail is pretty good. I like this one. It's easy to read. You've got that pink. That pink is going to be your consistent element amongst all your thumbnails, so people can easily recognize that is one of your thumbnails. What does it cost to sell a house? How much does it cost to sell a house? So again, with this one, you're repeating the title in your thumbnail. And it's just no real point in doing that. Try to come up with some kind of text that's really catchy. Like it costs how much, and maybe like, a shocked face, or maybe just an image of a house with you pointing to a house and no text at all. Something like that. Let's see. All of these, obviously, you've got the same things. If somebody came to your channel page, they would just be overwhelmed by this. They wouldn't really know where to go. And you have a lot of text in these thumbnails. Wow, 5,000 views. Okay, that's okay. I wonder if you're running some of these as ads.
I was just gonna check that out myself.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that's perfectly fine. We are running businesses here, so I think that's fine to experiment with that. But still, if you can get your click-through rate down on your ads, then I think your cost per click is going to get lower as well. So if you can kind of refine these a little bit. So again, like with this one, it's 5 reasons for selling your home during the holidays. 5 reasons for selling your home during the holidays. There's just no real point in having and duplicating your title and your thumbnail. And, I look at thumbnails as a stop sign to stop people in their track. And then the next thing is they read the title. Let me show you one of my other channels. I just had I had a thumbnail I was really happy with, and it got me like 600,000 views in about a week, and I had no text in that thumbnail whatsoever. Let me take a look here.
I'm a big fan of no text because it works.
Yeah, so this one is just about making DIY home mask, and like that's it. It's just 3 images of my face in the mask, and it's a good enough thumbnail that's going to stop people in their track. And the next thing they do is they're going to read the title. Let me find a better image in that thumbnail. But that's the kind of stuff. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, there's no text at all, but that'll stop you in your tracks, and then you read the thumbnail.
As soon as I saw that thumbnail, I texted you and said, "That's a damn good thumbnail."
Yeah, and you can see the white of my eyes. Christina talks about that as well. You want your face to be pretty large, just because majority of your views are going to come from mobile devices.
Yeah, that was a good video. Period.
Yeah, thank you. And and it's a good quality video, right? And that one's up to 672,000 in about 5 days. But I have a lot of stuff that don't have any text on it whatsoever, and the videos still do really well. So you don't have text in thumbnails. So some of these, if you just have a beautiful picture of a house, that may be good enough just to stop people and get them to read the title. So I mean, I would go back and just try to add a little bit more variety to this. If somebody comes to your page,
looks like that's what she had obviously has changed her idea of what a thumbnail should be. This is what she used to do. She's trying something different now.
Yeah, and I give you props for that.
Yeah, just don't repeat the title in the thumbnail. There's no reason for that. So like you're talking about how much does it cost to sell a house? Use money and house in that image, And
I mean, I like that you have the consistent color of that pink. And it looks like you got some stock photos of yourself, and that's perfectly fine. I do that as well. I have 6 or 7 pictures of myself pointing and gesturing and stuff, and I just kind of quickly use those in the thumbnails. One thing I like doing for my thumbnails is I just have a picture of a house in the background and I just blur it out, and that way your foreground still stands out, and that really helps. And so, I mean, I'd say these are decent. They could use a little bit of just experimentation and tweaking. And just keep in mind that you want to design them for a mobile device. So you want to make your image of yourself much larger. And you don't want to have much text. 5 words or less is kind of my rule of thumbs with that.
Thumbs?
Rule of thumb.
I
got 2 thumbs.
Yeah, there you go. You did great.
All right, let's take a look at one of her videos. And we'll just pay attention to how you start the video.
Oh, that's a green screen.
We're going to get started right after this.
That's good. I like it. Quick and punchy. You're right to the point of what you're going to talk about. That was good. That was like 5 seconds. That was a good, quick and short video intro.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ladina Strand. I'm a realtor in Portrait, Washington. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to learn everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, and playing, make sure you tap the subscribe button and click that little bell so you're notified every time I do new video.
Hit pause. How many minutes was that?
32 seconds is what we're up to.
Too long. Just jump in to what you're going to talk about. I know that some people will teach you, and I've heard it. I've heard it myself, that you need to put a call to action as soon as you start your video. Nobody has even heard what you had to say for them to even want to subscribe to your channel. Tell them something they want to hear because they want to know what's in it for them first before you ask them to do anything for you. You haven't given them anything to make them want to subscribe. Give them something first before you tell them to subscribe.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my opinion.
I think she's pretty close. She's just about to start getting to the content. I mean, I
don't like those. I don't like it.
I like getting to the content as soon as you can. I do have a few channels that I do a quick little 5-second long, hey, subscribe for whatever. And that's not bad. But yeah, I mean, to Christina's point, this is what you always have to worry about is your audience retention. You have to keep this in mind constantly. And the sooner you can get to the content, the quicker it's going to start leveling out. But let's see how much longer she goes. I mean, 30 seconds is not bad. Let's say.
Emails, texts every single day. I'm helping them, and I absolutely love it. So people, if you're thinking about moving, relocating here to the Northwest Washington area,
yeah,
give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. However you want to get a hold of me, I've got your back when moving to the Northwest Washington area. So I get this question all the time. What is it going to cost me to sell my home? Now,
so is that what the title is? What does it cost you to how many seconds, how many minutes are we in now?
So now we're about 55 seconds. And this is, you're really getting into the content right about now.
And it took a minute.
Yeah, I would say that's a little too long. I would cut out the part about, call me if you want to buy a house up here. Cut that out. My stuff, I cut out that branded video intro altogether as well. That'll save you another 5 seconds. And, if you want to have one call to action, just be, hey, subscribe, and then quickly just get to the content. I mean, if you provide them value, if you just say, hey, I'm a real estate agent and have a lower third with your contact information and then go forward and just get to the content, that'll be good enough that people will call you.
Right.
And if you want to have a stronger call to action, have it at the very end of the video after you provided them value. But this is what you have to keep in mind is that full first minute, I bet your audience retention is just dropping. People are just abandoning your video. And typically once you get to the content, that's when it starts leveling out. So just something to keep in mind. I like the green screen and the blurred background that you have. I think that looks really sharp. I like all the graphics that you have coming in. I like the 1/3 framing of your shot. All that looks fantastic. I think you're doing really well with that.
Yep.
And if you're going to be doing that blurred background, which I think looks sharp, yeah, I think the kind of thumbnails that I was doing would fit really well on your channel where I have the blurred background for my videos because people are going to see that thumbnail and then get to the content and you have that blurred background again. And I think that's going to work really well. Yeah, just these types of thumbnails here, I just always blur out the background to make the foreground pop out. And I think that kind of thumbnail would work really well on your channel as well. And that's something that you can do for free in Canva. They have a blurring effect. So let's see how you end the video now. Let's go to the last 30 seconds. And let's take a look here.
Easily sit down and say, okay, if I sold, how much money can I expect to make? Because that's a big factor.
And I like her music too.
Is now the right time to sell, or should I wait a year or two? If you're relocating to the Northwest Washington area, make sure you reach out. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or however you want to get a hold of me. I would love to chat. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, I mean, that's good that she didn't use any ending language into the last 20 seconds so that she can have those end screens up on the video. So instead of people backing out of the video, they could click on another one of her videos. I like that she's just giving her contact information right here in the video.
I'm going to give one suggestion because I used to do the exact same thing she did. I figured they were on a real estate channel. So I'm going to show them my buying a house ones and selling a house ones at the end. Well, the thing is, the viewer is either doing one or two things. They're either buying or they're selling. So I only direct them, if I'm doing a buying video, to direct them to other buying videos at the end instead of selling videos. You know, if they're interested in selling videos, they'll find those on their own. But you want to keep them in the loop of the information they were searching for in the first place, which was buying a home. So whenever I'm at my end screen, I just kind of stick with buying a home videos.
Yeah. If you let's say they watch this video and then you get them on a playlist and they start watching some other videos, YouTube's going to see that, and they're going to, like, if they're watching video A and then they go and watch video B, YouTube's going to be more likely to start suggesting video B alongside of it. So if this is about selling your home, try to get them to watch a playlist about other content about selling your home, and those videos will be more likely to rank as a suggested video to this one. Yeah, so, you know, try to keep them within that same category. And then, you know, at the end of the video, if you want this video to perform well, one of the best things you can do is get them to watch more of your videos. And that's why, and the best way to do that is to do a handoff where you literally say, hey, if you want to learn more about selling your home, click right here to check out my playlist all about selling your home, and really point and try to get them over there, everything you can to get them over there.
Arrows flashing, little dancing, anything.
What I've heard is, on average, if you just have these end screen elements up, but you don't really direct them to them or anything, on average, people have seen about a 1% click-through rate on that. On some of my videos where I'm saying, hey, click right here to watch more videos about selling your home, I'm seeing anywhere between a 10 and a 20% click-through rate on those end screen elements. So doing that really does get them to watch more videos, which is going to extend their session time, which is one of the big things that YouTube looks at when evaluating a video. So that may be just another, just try to do everything you can to get them to go watch another one of your videos. I think your channel banner is perfectly fine. I think that's good. It looks really professional.
Better there. Yep. It's good.
Let's see. Kitsap County real estate info and more. Yeah, so I guess that's the value of your channel. I may have put that in kind of the dead center, that what they can expect out of it. I kind of didn't read that at first when I first saw the banner. Maybe move this over to the side. You can see here that your new videos every other Thursday. That's kind of covered up by your links a little bit. And I don't see any. I like having my website as the main link there. I mean, that's, you know, if your goal is lead gen, try to get them to your website as possible.
I'm going to weigh in on this. Okay. So when it comes to YouTube, you're trying to build one audience. This is directly from Nick Niman, somebody much wiser than I am. And he says, if you're trying to build a YouTube audience, until you have that audience there, do not take them off platform. So, you know, of course, you're wanting to use this for business. So I think in our case, it's good to take them off platform to our own website. But all the other nonsense, take off. There's no reason to have them in there. If you want to put them in your about section, just to have those links there, if people are looking for you on Facebook, to have that in your about section, but don't put it in your banner as little icons. You want to keep them on YouTube as long as possible, because the longer they're on your YouTube page watching your stuff, the more likely YouTube is going to recommend your content to other people that are just like the people that were just watching.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point.
Yeah.
And I mean, I definitely see your thumbnails have improved. Out of all of them, I mean, I like this one the best. It's very easy to read. You have different text than
I think I helped her with that one.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I helped her with. I'm pretty sure I did. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I can believe it. And I mean, I think give that blurred background thumbnail a try. I think that'll work really well. I like your channel name, living in Northwest Washington. Your icon's fine. You know, you could also just make that a image of your face as well.
Yeah, use your face.
And let's see. So yeah, you got a couple of playlists here. That's good. You can have up to 10 different playlists, and your playlists don't have to be just your videos. You could have some other just valuable videos on your front page as well. And let's take a look at our channel trailer. I say that's a little long. I feel like a lot of people probably wouldn't sit through that to get to this.
Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Ladina with Homes by Strand. I'm a full-time real estate consultant in Port Arthur, Washington. Please feel free to browse any of my videos, and I hope you find them helpful. I post new videos quite frequently on real estate tips and local Kitsap County market updates. Whether you're looking to buy or sell in today's market, it's important to be kept up to date on the local real estate trends.
Yeah, I think that's good info.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So what I do with my trailers is that your call to action at it should be to subscribe. That's your whole goal of your trailer. Just get them to subscribe to you, because this is the only video that at the end of it, it gives you a giant subscribe button. So what I'd like to do is, hey, subscribe today, and then boom, end the video. Then this giant subscribe button pops up. Another cool thing that you can do is this video is the only description shows up beside the video. So I like to have my contact information in the very top of the description. So it shows up right next to your video.
So smart.
It's
When you
kind
said
of
that last week, I was like,
yeah,
that's pretty good stuff. That's pretty genius.
it's kind of a neat trick. And then
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
as far as your content strategy goes, you know, I think if your goal is lead generation, I think making content about your local area, especially those moving guides, pros and cons of living in Northwestern Washington, 10 things to know before moving to Northwestern Washington. Those are the type of videos that are going to really generate you leads. If you make a lot of content just about real estate in general, I think my opinion is it's a little bit harder to get leads from those. You need to get a lot of views on those types of videos to get leads. So I would say, who's your target audience? If it's Northwest Washington residents, and make content about the Northwest Washington to try to build that local audience in your area. That's my view anyway. Christina has a different model where she's just making general real estate videos, and she gets hundreds of thousands of views. And because of that, she's able to get leads from those as well.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just like, but I did this first. I did exactly what she's doing first. You know, like we all start somewhere, and you got to find your groove, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, overall,
and I'm always changing my groove. I started a whole new, I'm actually trying to get back to a little bit of just general topic type videos to help for some.
Is this a green screen, or is this really her?
That's a green screen. That's 100% a green screen.
Okay. I just want to make sure it looked great. I like it.
Yeah. If you had to question it, it looked good.
Okay. Yeah. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
And I like the graphics. I like your videos themselves. Really just your thumbnails could use a little bit of tweaking to it. All right.
But she's trying. You can tell.
Yeah. She's getting better. And I mean, that's all you can really do is just try to get 1% better with every video that you make. Let's see. 5 or less words, people. 3 is better. No words is even better than that if you can. Yeah, I agree with that.
I had to tell Jeremy that. He's parroting me because I feel like, Jeremy. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'll fix it.
Yeah, I would click on your video, except with StreamYard, I can't get clickable links on here. But if you go to the our group, Real Estate YouTube Mastermind, and the very pinned top comment is where people are posting their channels for free channel evaluations.
Tear it apart. People are like, they're wanting us to shred them.
We had 170 people on the live stream at that time. We broke it up.
Remember, I read that one. We read that one.
Yeah. The idea is the video go on a blog to help with the search terms. Are the generators. Okay. I mean, that works. You know, they could also perform for SEO on YouTube as well.
Yeah. Why not do both? Don't half-ass one, do both.
The YouTube videos are not our view generator for YouTube.
Why?
Okay. Yeah, they could be.
Why? You can get a lot of money from YouTube. Like it should be just a dump and go place.
Yeah, and let me just pull up my screen again here. Like they absolutely could be generating you views and leads. If you type in, moving to Maryland, my videos are on the first page of Google for that term. For a lot of terms like that, moving to Annapolis, Maryland.
I think if you look up manufactured or mobile homes, I think my videos come up.
And I mean, it's okay to have them in the blog post as well. My blog ranks #1 for that search term, and then has my videos in there. What was it? Manufactured home?
I think it's mobile home. I don't know if it's manufactured or mobile home.
Let's test manufactured home out. Yeah.
Yeah, those are all mine. Everything.
Yeah,
all three of them.
And I don't know if you guys can see, 135 people a month search for manufactured home, and she's got 3 videos on the first page of Google for that. 135,000 people a month.
135,000 a month.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a great search term. Yeah, and this one here, #1, even before Dave Ramsey. 368,000 people a month search for mobile home, and she has a video on the first page of Google for that. So I mean, if you're talking about YouTube's where it's at. YouTube, it's far easier, in my opinion, to get a video to rank on the first page of Google for some search terms than it is to get a blog post, because people have been building backlinks and getting blog posts to rank for years now, and it's hard to compete in that space sometimes. But not a lot of people have their YouTube videos really optimized and really dialed in. I'd love some feedback on my channel. Yeah, man, go post that in the Facebook group, and we'll see if we can get to that. It's called Google London because we answer the most commonly Googled questions in our city. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I've seen like celebrities do that. Yeah, I mean, for SEO purposes, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if you just.
I just rethink of the titles. That's all. There's like what makes that Google. Like, there's so many things you could say about Google, that would make that much more enticing to want to click on.
Answering your top questions about London.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have a series, and you don't always have to have that series name in your title of the channel. You could just start off the video, hey everybody, welcome back to Google London, where we answer your #1 questions. Maybe you could just have an icon, a Google icon, the big G in the lower corner of all your thumbnails, and that's how people know that it's that series. You don't have to necessarily use up that valuable space in the title with the name of your series. My 2 cents. Okay, thank you.
I'll throw in mine too, because I agree with you. So it'll be 4 cents.
4 cents.
Yeah, your 2 cents and my 2 cents is 4 cents.
Should we review my channel, Jeremy Blanton? Should we review his channel?
I've given him reviews. I've given him like personal.
We've talked to him plenty.
Yeah, I've given him personal reviews.
Christina did help me with that one. Laugh out loud. I got to up my game. That's great. Use it as a template. That one's really easy for me to read that text. And it really caught my eye. Your image was much larger in it than all the other ones. I think that helped kind of and just use that as a template kind of moving forward. And just keep in mind, you want to design them for a mobile device. Keep that in mind. That's what you want to design it for, not for your desktop computer. So on my computer, what I do is I use Photoshop and I zoom way out so the thumbnail's super tiny on my computer, just so I can really see what it'll look like at a small size.
I do that.
Orlando Real Estate by Rick Bolson.
Right. Bosley.
Oh, I'm dyslexic.
I am too. I think that's why we like YouTube so much.
Orlando Real Estate by Rick Bosley.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's take a look. That's probably him.
Like his icon. Digging the icon.
Yeah, I like that icon. It's bright and it's recognizable.
Too much going on in that banner. Like, there's a lot going on in that banner.
My eyes don't know where to go when I look at that. My eyes kind of get overwhelmed and I don't read anything.
That is logo happy in there. There's a lot of logos going on.
Yeah. And what I like to do is just have your value proposition dead center and stick these logos off to the side or something somewhere else. When you look at a banner, the first place you're going to look at is dead center. So I want to really get what the value is of your channel from that. That
to me, like his channel banner looks like the picture and everything reminds me of something you'd see on the newspaper. or like Action Weather 9,
Right. Yeah.
With Rick Bosley. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, like a weather forecast, man. Yeah, it does kind of look like a news anchor. So let's take a look here. 163. There's that dyslexia. 163. And Kana Avenue for sale music parody. Okay.
And I wouldn't have titled it that.
Yeah, that's yeah, I mean, titling listing videos is a little tricky.
I do it all the time. So This is how I do it. And I have it for a very small channel. If you actually type in VLAR real estate at the top there, I help these people a lot. So if you go in the little search, just type in VLAR real estate, VILL.
Pops up.
We'll see what comes up. It's VILL real estate. Yeah, just push enter, see what comes in. There it is. Yep. Okay. So they don't have a lot of subscribers. These are their listing videos. They get good views. They get decent views for listing videos. And this is all they post. This is all they post.
Country home for sale in Gonzales. Yeah, that's a good title. St. Amant home for sale on the
Diversion Canal, Santa Ma. Yep.
Walking distance, home for sale, walking distance to Diversion Canal. New home for sale in blah, blah, home for sale in Perryville. Okay. So is that how you title your videos? Home for sale and then like the city, or you try to find something really interesting about them?
Yeah. Like some people are searching for a large lot. So large lot, home for sale in Gonzales.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to do better. And actually these sometimes will actually rank higher that first day in Google, better than even Zillow or Realtor.com videos. So, you know, think about how you're going to title them.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, these are just walkthrough tours. These are just listing tours. There is no paid advertisement on those at all. It's all listing tours.
That's good. So you get a lot of organic traffic. Do you do these tours?
Yeah, I do them.
You did this one with your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really slick. That looks real good. I stopped doing my own listing tours and I started paying people to do mine for me.
I really enjoy it doing this. This is not hard for me.
Yeah.
It's just a gimbal. I just use my gimbal and my cell phone. That's it.
That's pretty slick. I just got the new Samsung S20. I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna do a lot more vlogging, a lot more cool stuff. My old camera before this had a big crack in the camera, so I can never really use my phone.
Yeah. The new cell phones make it so easy.
Yeah. So let's take a look. Yeah. So, yeah, I would not start with the address. That doesn't really make you want to click on it. I mean, I like the idea of having something unique about it, you know, home for sale within walking distance of whatever, or new construction home for sale in blank. When I was uploading my listing videos, I was doing, like Anne Arundel County home for sale, semicolon, and then the address. Let's take a look. Well, this one may be a little bit different than some of his other ones. We'll click on it anyway.
And I think this is the last of it. So if you want to head back to the office, I'll just wait here for the photographer.
I kind of already lost interest. I hate to admit it, man. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people click off by now already. You may be a cool, funny video, but you have to hook them at the very beginning. You have to get them really interested at the very beginning. You have to have a lot of high energy.
I still don't know what's even going on. It's just him.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked up that it's a parody. Okay, I start hearing the music. Okay, the song. So, you know, it's almost 40 seconds before you really got into that.
We've got this listing on a great little street. With clubhouse down the way. We would like to sell it to you. Bill, right now, what do you say?
Yeah, that's cute.
When it's gone, we're gonna miss it when it's gone. It's only 4 years old. Hurry up before it's old. Take a look before it's gone.
Yeah, I mean,
I dig it.
I can see that doing really well on Facebook.
If you lost all the beginning part, like if he just did where he just spit the water in the sink, where he got to, you know, and then put the cup down, just got to that point where he was at that.
Right. So like, where was it?
Yeah, that part.
He started right there.
Yep. And
then cut everything else, started right there.
Yeah.
And boom, you got right into the content. Yeah. But instead, it's about 38 seconds in. And again, if you look at your audience retention, you probably lost most of your viewers within the
I really like that.
38 seconds. Yeah, it's a catchy song.
I dig it.
Great little street.
And the fact that he can't sing, that's what makes it even better.
Let's see. So he's got a little ending here. Let's see how this turned out. So he's using a green screen, obviously. I can tell this time. Okay, so you're using that as your ending card. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have some kind of ending card like this, I'd love to see you say, hey, if you enjoyed this, click right here to watch some more parody videos, and click right here to subscribe to my channel. Something like that.
I concur.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's a decent, that's a fun video. I don't mind that. The
I liked it.
The thumbnail has some pretty small text. I can't read that on my desktop. I definitely couldn't read that on my mobile device. And you know what, man? I mean, that's such a good song. I would just take out the address altogether. You don't even do the home for sale. Come up with a better. Yeah, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone, and like a picture of you in front of the house. That would be kind of intriguing enough to make me want to click on that.
Yeah.
And let's see what else he's got here.
I concur.
With the Bosley team for our monthly video email hello of getting personal with the Bosley team. What's crazy is we're gonna do this every month. It's the last Friday of the month right now.
Okay, so I mean, that's a little bit different. Sounds like you really meant this for a video email. It's kind of a personal message to your database, which is fine. I like the graphics that you have in there. I like how it's a pretty tight crop as well on yourself. Yeah. Overall, I mean, there's not much to critique. You're just kind of starting, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with, man. Let's see. So where were we with comments? Rick Bosley. Just started it 3 weeks ago. So as I continue, would love to see if you feel I am heading in the right direction. Yeah, absolutely, man.
You're off to a good start, much better than when I first started.
Yeah. It's a real learning curve, YouTube. It takes you a little bit of time to really figure out the culture here on YouTube.
Yeah, because it is very different than Facebook.
Yeah, it's a different culture. So the users are expecting something different. And then also the algorithm is different. And how you kind of optimize that is a little bit different. But yeah, man, I look forward to seeing what else you come up with the next few weeks. Hopefully some more catchy tunes. If you're not wanting to rank for YouTube, then make them unlisted so your channel looks cleaner. Right. I was actually going to suggest that as well. So that's going back to the guy who was cutting up his interview and posting them up on YouTube.
Remember
yeah,
you said that.
Yeah, if you're doing it just for blog posts and that's all you really care about, you can put those as unlisted, and you can only people who have a direct link to that video, or if it's embedded on a website, those are only people who can watch those clips. And that way, yeah, it's not quite kind of cluttering up your channel when people look at your channel. I'm late. Morning, Malcolm and Christina. Hey, Bern.
Bern.
Good morning. You're not late, man. The party's just starting.
Really? Because we've been doing this for an hour and 22 minutes.
Okay, actually, no, we're not Nick Nimmin. We can't go for 6 hours.
No.
we need to get on a schedule with these things.
I know.
Are you in London, England, or London, Ontario?
Yeah, they're obviously they have Canadian accents.
Or where?
He said about in his video. He said about.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. When I was watching it, I didn't really get what state or what city it was in either.
There's plenty of Londons in the old USA too.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of Londons in the States. I was joking, people. That's all right.
Joking, people.
What should you have in a banner? So I like just having the value proposition of your channel, right? Use your banner as a way to convert viewers into subscribers. Give them a quick description of what they can expect out of your channel. And a lot of people like to put their contact information in their channel banner as well. I'm okay with that. I'm not terribly upset with that.
Some people like to post how often they upload a video. That's fine too.
Their posting schedule, yeah.
Yeah, that's just something short and sweet that gets people's attention. I would look at other people that have much more successful channels than even Malcolm and I and see what they have. Get a good idea what's working for them. Something that's in our field, like whether it's lending or, something that would be close to what you would consider close to real estate.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, have a big picture of yourself and just the value proposition of your channel. That's where I would start. And then have that dead center, you know, try to think of the human being who's going to watch that. They're going to look at the center of it and read that text first. And if you want to have that logo and everything else, kind of put that off to the side so it's not, doesn't really overwhelm the person.
My mind always thinks thumbnails. And so when you said put that dead center and make the image big, for some reason, I thought belly button and somebody pointing their fingers to the center of their belly button. My brain is weird.
What is going on here?
I don't know. But thank God my creativity is back because it was gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you got a little pep to your step now.
Yeah, back to the old drawing board again.
That's good. Good. So Rick Bosley says that was great feedback. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks so much for participating. Christina and I could talk about YouTube for hours.
And we do.
And we do quite often. So Christina, what's your next video going to be about?
I believe I'm going to talk about one of the biggest myths when it comes to manufactured homes is they're tornado magnets. I mean, educated, real people say this to me more often than not. In my comment sections on every single one of those videos that I've ever done about a manufactured or modular home, always comments that they're tornado magnets, which is the dumbest thing. So I'm actually going to break down how statistically impossible that is. And I'm gonna actually show graphs and everything else that they're not drawn. Tornadoes don't go, hey, look, mobile home park, can't wait. You know, that's just not.
Gobble them up.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually show the proof, the statistics, because people will say, well, you're lying because you just want to sell them. I'm like, whatever.
Good. So. Yeah, go pull up some data. I've been doing a lot more like data driven stuff where I'll pull out like studies and stuff and I kind of highlight the different quotes and everything from it. And those have been doing pretty good. I get a lot of pretty good response with that kind of content.
Yeah, if you can not only be the source, but show the source of the source, like you're not pulling this information out of thin air and that you're just talking out of your rear end. Like this came from a real article from the New York Times and this is what they said, that way you're not at fault for quoting something that may end up down the road not being correct. You're like, hey,
right.
New York Times said it. I didn't
yeah, I like doing that.
It kind of saves your rear end a lot.
Yeah, I like showing my sources in the videos themselves and quoting people. It gives you a little bit more authority, and people like actually believe your information that way.
Right.
I think the next one I'm doing is 15-year versus 30-year mortgage, and I've had that script ready.
I was gonna say you've been saying that for like a month and a half. When is that happening?
I've got 3 channels I'm uploading to right now.
I know, but I have one that's doing very well, and I don't blame you for 1 minute to sponge everything you can out of that with what's going on. I think you're smart for doing it.
Yeah, that one's up to 77,000 subscribers, which
you gained like 22,000 subscribers since all this started, didn't you?
Yeah, I had several videos, it's not just one video, but several videos really take off. And I've been getting at least 100,000 views a day for the past 7 days now. And I'm getting like 1,000 subscribers a day. So, I mean, I really think I can hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's my goal. You remember a couple of weeks ago, I posted, what should I put right here in my wall? I'm reserving this spot for my silver play button.
Well, there you go.
That's what's going to go right there in that blank spot on my wall.
I revealed the secret of what goes on in my office. Nobody knew how big this office was. So I posted, because Ray Allen is making a whole studio. And he was like, like, Christina, what's going on in your office? And I'm like, okay, here it is. Because nobody realizes it's actually a very tiny space. I really only have 2 feet from me to the wall. There's nothing like.
You're pretty tiny yourself. So I think that's okay.
Yeah, but if I touch my hand, I mean, like literally, I'm like right there. That's it. There's nothing. There's just a couple feet between me and the wall.
Yeah.
And nobody had any idea. And they were like, well, what's your lighting setup? I go, you really want to know? People laugh. This is it. I have one of these here and I have one up there. That's it. That's
simple.
Lighting setup.
Simple.
And then these hanging here, I didn't want this is funny. So I didn't want my ceiling to have holes in it. So you do what works.
Yeah that works. I did.
No one will ever know. Yeah, well, there you go.
I got some holes in my ceilings from that. Yeah, I mean, it's content quality over production quality. I mean, it's still great production quality. Yeah, those lights look really good, and you got that nice shallow depth of field, even though you only have 2 feet behind you. Somehow you're still getting that shallow depth of field. Which
You
is
got to
great.
work. You got to make things work. You got to try all different sorts of stuff. I mean, I've had all sorts of different kinds of backgrounds. I've sat on my couch in my living room before.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to try different stuff.
Now that I got my S20, I want to do more stuff outside, walking around, kind of walking and talking at the same time. And you know, I mean, what I really got to do is do like 5 videos like that, and then 5 videos here in the office, and group them in the analytics and see which one performs better. If I have better audience retention or anything by going outside versus filming in here.
I just think if you add enough elements that keep the eye moving, then you're going to win. Doesn't matter whether you're outside or inside.
That's it. Yep. Keep the eyes moving. All right. Well, this may be a good place to call it a day. I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm done. Hour and a half is good. You did good.
That's good. That's good.
All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Yep. We'll do this again next week.
Next Thursday, probably.
I don't know if it's going to be the same bat time and the same bat channel because I never know when Malcolm wants to do it, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, we'll see what time I wake up. If I wake up before 12. No.
Yeah, the princess got to sleep.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.